Hi, welcome back to Tao of Twang. I'm Dave. So, got a couple of comments on this video a few days ago asking about the timing, or I guess the phrasing of some of the playing, and I appreciate that comment. A couple people talked to me about it. And, we don't do a lot of like, okay, here's the whole solo and, we're going to break it down and tab it out and everything. But I want to, address as many questions well as I can. So what I decided to do here was go back to the same backing track, and it's the one where we were doing the different positions, moving up with this minor pentatonic over this G7 vamp. Okay, and we were in the previous video. We won't review all of this, but we were kind of going doing this 4 notes down from each ascending tone in that scale. So, right, and it's kind of using that as a way to map out that pentatonic. And there's the video is called "Mapping Pentatonic" or something like that from a couple days ago. So melodically, we're going to go with that foundation, right? We won't have to discuss that much. And in that intro, I just played a couple licks that hopefully I can remember and do them the same for this lesson portion. And rather than, like I said, then get into kind of a, necessarily a deeper explanation about the counting and so forth, maybe if we just do sort of a play along, a back and forth thing with some of this phrasing, just kind of get you, into more of a feel. Because I realize too that when I'm making these videos and the main topic is melodic in nature, I have a tendency to just kind of eighth note it around, because I'm thinking about showing you the notes, right? Sometimes at a cost probably to, really good phrasing. So good phrasing, is about not playing and observing the space between what we play and making sort of thematic establishments in our playing that we come back to through a song or a solo, and there's a motif and a theme that runs through it. Okay, I know that sounds pretty philosophical or whatever, but I want to give you some kind of a nuts and bolts example of that. I'm going to do this today in kind of a different way and really give you some space to play along. Don't worry if you don't hit every note of it exactly the same, but just try to catch the groove of and the feeling of the phrasing. Okay, so let me just put this back on and kind of remind everybody, our ears, of what that was like in the demo. There was a long rest in there. Okay. Now, it's not the hottest lick on YouTube or whatever, right? It's not the one that's gonna, if you don't do it, you're just gonna, self-destruct and all that. But, maybe it's just a good, solid thing to grab a hold of right here. So I'm a lot in the spirit of that previous stuff that we were discussing the other day. I'm going right down that scale. Okay, so let me do that slowly. I'm starting on the G, the tonic on the highest string of that first form of minor pentatonic. Okay, so we're starting right there. Now when I get to that fourth tone, I'm bending it. Now you could kind of start with it bent. Don't worry about it. But there's some kind of bending or, kind of embellishment of that note. I like that kind of doorsy, bend. Right, that's kind of bluesy and kind of dark sound. I like that. So if you're going to do something real simple, you want to do a couple things that are real dynamic in there, right? If I just go, that's okay, but you really make something out of that one embellishment that you have in a phrase like that. It just makes it into something that's really cool, right? Not something that sounds thought up or scaly, right? So then I'm just coming down to that other root. Okay, just try that. I'll give you a second here. If you sometimes you can sing along with the all right. Now let's put this back on. This track is so repetitive you can kind of just jump in anywhere with it. Let me do that again. I'm sweaty. Here. Okay, so the other little follow-up phrase or kind of the answer to that call and response sort of conversation that's going on there is something like, right, pretty precisely. I mean, that's what I was doing in the demo and just now. So kind of back up. Now I'm starting on the fifth. The note's D, right, on the fifth string there. And this time I'm giving that one a little partial bend. I like to bend it down when I'm doing that. You don't need to get a full, you can do it like that, but you don't really have to push it 2 frets. That's kind of a quarter bend. It's going, and then a little bit of vibrato, a little bit of wiggle there on that last note. Those are little things that really matter. Now, I know the questions were more about timing, but these things that it all matters when you put it all together because, when you're conscious of these embellishments, your timing change because you hang around on that a little bit more and you let that track play behind you, let the band play behind you, right? That's a big part of what I think is important in timing and phrasing. So, it's a topic that's, a lot of times, hey, you just do what you feel and all that. And that's great. I do that on this channel sometimes, because I feel like everybody does have their own language. But, you want to have some good modeling stuff that you can model after, right? So let's do those 2 licks together with a good pause in between. Listen to that rhythm. Okay. Now, I don't know if that's exactly what I did in the intro or not, but I remember that I went up to the next position, kind of using that other technique that I mentioned earlier, that other kind of outline. And I'll kind of review that a little bit right here. But did you notice that the phrasing and the rhythmic statement was similar? The notes were different. And in some, I think I landed still on the G. Some of the notes were even the same, just played in a different place or a different register. But, the thing that I'm pointing out here is that I'm kind of using the same sentence structure, if you will, if we were conversing and allowing for punctuation and pauses in between what we're saying. which gives what we're saying more meaning, right? Music is just like that. So, maybe you want to go do something, and sometimes you want to, some shock value. You just want to do something real slow, then just go up here and just do a crazy fast lick or something. That's another, technique, of stylization. But here we're really sticking with the theme. So when you go up to the, do a little bit down here, get into a good feeling of conversational feeling with it, and then move up to another position. Now, just like the other day, I'm doing the 4 notes. If I go up to what would be if I'm just tracing out that pentatonic scale with my index finger. Right? I'm just going up to the next position and doing 4 consecutive notes going down. Okay. Now, all the moves and the places where you bend and stuff won't be exactly the same. But if you use that kind of 4 note system along with this phrasing technique and routine, then you're gonna start moving around the neck and playing different notes and making different melodic choices, but still supporting and maintaining that rhythmic theme or that timing, that feel. Here's what I mean by that. I know this is a bit abstract, but okay. Now, I did some longer phrases in there, but if you notice, even when I went out and kind of, stuck my neck out a little bit more, covered a couple positions in one longer phrase, came back and kind of put that pause in there, and then backed it all up with, you know, um, okay. This also sets you up for a lot of, if you invest some time doing what we just discussed and demonstrated, the next thing, one of the cool things that you can do once you get comfortable with that feeling and that timing and that conversational feeling is, target some different notes to end on rather than just the root. I really relied on the root in this demonstration because I think it just makes sense for your ear and just, kind of focusing on other ideas. But here's just a little taste of that on this, playing this outro for you, and then I'll get you to the practice loop. If I, target some different notes in there, but still keep that conversation and that feeling and that vibe and that phrasing going, I think you'll see that it'll really start opening up melodically as well. Let me know how this goes. Talk to you soon. We'll wait for that to come around again.